Welcome everybody to Sasha and Goff live recorded. I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff.
And we are back this week with our episode Serial Killers. You like that?
That's great.
You like what we did there?
It's very clever.
Nobody listening right now knows what we're talking about. But so our last episode, when we picked from the bucket, it was top 3 serial killers, which is a weird way to talk about serial killers.
Yep.
I don't know if I have a top 3 or bottom 3. I'll talk about it a little bit more when we do the actual top 3 thing. But I was thinking, since it is kind of a weird subject matter and a little dark.
A little dark.
You'd messaged me during the week, and I was like, well, what do you think about adding cereal into the mix? Cereal's fun. It's for the kids.
Cereal with a C.
With a C.
Yeah. Cereal.
And then we could do the title of the show, Serial, Killers.
Yes, it's brilliant.
And we could do both.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because
is that a compliment?
Well, yeah, it is.
Wow.
And when I texted
That's
you,
the show.
When I texted you too, it was just like, yeah, good luck with the thumbnail on this one.
Yeah.
Because it's like, whose body are you going to put my head on? And, you know.
That's all I care about.
That's all, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And now it'll just include, like, the Fruit Loops bird on your shoulder as well.
That's Sam, right? Is that his name?
Toucan
Sam, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, cereal and serial killers. That's what we're doing today. Weird topic. Possibly not for the children. I don't know.
Maybe, but also not.
Yeah, like half for the kids and half not for the kids. So based on your parenting, that's how this episode is going to go.
Okay.
What you been up to, Goff?
Well, I guess we should just do one last St. Baldrick's plug, if that's okay.
Let's do it.
If you're listening to this episode when it comes out, you got one more day.
19th. March 19th is the last day.
Yeah, I'm going to be shaving my head, so the next time you see me, I will not, well, I was going to say I won't have any hair. I'll still have a little bit of hair. But if you want to donate, you can go to the show description. There's a link in the bio there, and we'll probably have a QR code here. Yeah,
that's right. You got to use this one this week.
Don't
try to use the previous ones. It takes you to some weird Russian pornography or something. I don't know where it goes, but it's not to what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, and if you look at this QR code here from last week, you can see that the dots are a little bit different here.
Is that true?
Yes.
Wow.
Probably.
Very impressive.
But anyway, yeah, shaving my head to help kids with cancer. And if you'd like to help donate, you can go to that QR code or link in bio.
Yeah, and by the way, give $1, give $2, give $3, give 69 cents. We'll laugh. Yeah. It'll be hilarious.
It'll be great.
You're trying to reach $500?
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're close.
We're about 75% of the way.
I still have to give you money, don't I?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell you have to. And
okay.
Yeah, we could do the cup if you want, but
we'll
I mean,
see.
that's going to... I like looking at that money and remembering a time when our friends used to give us money.
Yeah, we did well, I think.
We did.
We did pretty well at the beginning. And now, not well at all.
Yeah. But anyway, you know what, though? Just one other thing I wanted to talk about, because people around, the greater DuPage area are starting to call me a hero. Because besides shaving my head for kids with cancer, my family and I, we went to, not a food bank, but we worked for a thing called Feed My Starving Children yesterday.
Oh, here we go.
Yep,
Goff is such a good person. Well, guess what? My wife did that like a month ago.
Well, we did it last year as well, so we did it a year before. But anyway, no, we did it for their Girl Scout troop. It's pretty cool. I mean, like, you just go in there, and it's like... It's a great business model for this company. Like I said, it's called Feed My Starving Children. And they get donations that pay for food, and then volunteers come in and essentially just pack the food. But it's like a big team building exercise, but they're just getting like free labor, and it's awesome for them because they'll put up on the walls, it's like, well, the team in here yesterday got this many boxes, so now people are fighting to try to break records and whatnot. And it was just, it felt good. Felt good, man.
So
like
they took advantage of you and your family's kindness.
They did. But we supplied food for 94 kids for a year.
Well, there you
yesterday.
Go. Good job. Unlike
Thank you.
One of the serial killers that I'll talk about later in the show,
took 94.
You're doing good for the kids.
Yeah.
So, all
right. No, I just wanted to,
that's
toot
cool.
my own horn.
Do you guys do a lot of? Now, let me ask you this. You personally wouldn't be doing this stuff if it wasn't for you having a wife who's better than you and children who are better than you, right?
Well, this admittedly Yeah, because we did it last year, and then she was talking about it. She's like, "Oh, well, we got Feed My Starving Children on Saturday, so we got to, And I was like, "Wait, we?" And she's like, "Yeah, I signed you up." And I was like, "All right." I mean, it was like, I'd rather not. But I mean, I didn't have a complaint. It was like, yeah, sure, because
you'd
the
rather
whole thing
sit
is
at
about
home.
an hour and a half.
You'd rather be at home mowing your lawn or whatever you do for fun.
Yeah,
rather than that. But yeah, it's not like it's a bad thing. Obviously.
No, but I was like one of the warehouse guys, so all the kids basically were putting the bags together. But, like, every box was, like, 35 pounds. And I carried probably about 40 of them. Just running back and forth. Because you're just trying, like I said, everyone's trying to, beat the group before them. So,
yeah, I don't do stuff for people.
Yeah.
I did once, probably, like, 15 years ago.
I don't do stuff for people.
I don't. Megan made me do something. I think she was in college. That's how long ago it was, because she's 75 now.
Yeah.
So this was a while ago. But she was taking, like, hospitality classes or something like that, and then the teacher of the class was like, we feed homeless people something. And so, like, apparently I signed up for this as well. And we went into some, like, you were basically in, like, a kitchen of a church or whatever it was, like, basement. And then, like, less fortunate people would come in and you would feed them, and then you were like, I am a good person.
Yeah. You're like, you know what?
I'm such a jerk.
I am going to heaven.
Yeah. You know what? I deserve everything I get because I'm a great person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't it at all. But, like, it was, it's humbling. It's a very humbling experience. And you're like, wow. Because a lot of people talk about, like, doing stuff. Like, you know what I should do? Mm-hmm. I should do.
Yeah.
I should gather a bunch of socks and just go hand them to homeless people.
In another life, I'd be helping more people.
Yeah. In this one, I'm not very good at it. Yeah. So what can you do? What did we talk about last week?
Last week we talked about dream jobs, right? Dream jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, dream jobs. So 2 weeks ago, we did favorite female vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
We did get a couple from our dear friend Hattori Hanzo. I wanted to ask you about him. He said Wendy O. Williams, Cher, and Lepa Brena, which is great.
Yeah.
Serbian pop star Lepa Brena. We all know Cher, Albanian pop star. I don't know what. And then no, Armenian, right? I think she's Armenian.
Tajikistanian?
Anyway.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, do you think Kazakhstan is not a real country?
I thought it wasn't. I thought it was made up. Like Borat.
Well, look, I'm laughing at you because I'm pretty sure it is. So one of us is horribly wrong, and we'll find out.
We'll find out for
next
next episode, but I'm pretty sure it's not real.
I was listening to you on your podcast talk about it, and you were like, I know Tajikistan is a real one. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not a real one.
No, that's a real one, too, because actually at the thing we were at yesterday, all the stations had different countries, and that was one of them.
Well, that's amazing.
I had to point it out to Jody, too. It's like, see?
If I had to guess, I would have guessed that's the fake one, and Kazakhstan's the real. Kazakhstan looks like Serbia. My dad loves the Borat because when he goes to his hometown, my dad cries and tears up. He's like, "That's like my hometown."
That's awesome.
Like he loves
He's
it.
representing.
But anyway, so Cher, Lepa Brena, and Wendy O. Williams, Plasmatics. I wanted to know, do you ever listen to Plasmatics, like late 70s or early 80s punk band?
Oh no.
They were like, I want to say like a New York punk band.
Okay.
So they're like brash, lewd. Her voice is kind of like, bleh.
Okay.
I'm not a fan, but it fits in the Hattori Hanzo handbook. It was kind of like punk metal. I think they were like one of those bands that was like kicked out of cities and stuff like that. I never got into them. It was not really my thing.
Yeah, never heard of them. Wow.
But thank you, Hattori Hanzo, for the top 3.
Yeah.
By the way, big year for 90s grunge music. I don't know if you've heard of all the great news going on. Tripping Daisy, new album in June.
Oh, well.
First album in like 15 years or whatever.
I feel like that's how it's going to be for a lot of these bands if they put out a new album. First album in 15 years.
Spacehog, touring with EMF. You remember EMF?
You're unbelievable.
Yeah, they're touring together. Spacehog's first tour in 10 years.
Wow.
I talked about Pearl Jam and how they had that punk song last week. I just wanted to mention it's called Mind Your Manners.
Okay.
And then I watched an interview with the guitarist, and he talked about how he wanted to write a song like a Dead Kennedys song. And I was like, what a weird thing for Pearl Jam to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then The big tour coming to Chicago in November. I think I sent you this.
Okay.
Everclear.
Yeah.
Local H and Sponge. Thalia Hall.
Damn.
In Pilsen.
Where's that at?
Pilsen, Thalia Hall. It's south side, like UIC. You know where UIC is?
Oh yeah.
That area.
I was gonna say I've heard of Pilsen or like the Pilsen area.
I've only been to that venue to watch hardcore wrestling, so that tells you what kind of neighborhood it is because they don't go to Naperville, Illinois for hardcore wrestling. Pilsen's a cool place. I don't go out that way. Like it's a weird spot of the city. I rarely go south of 290 if you're a Chicago person. It's just there's nothing for me.
Wait, where'd you say? UIC Pavilion?
Yeah, like further south of that. So
yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, so all of that is happening, all those bands, and I'm pretty sure it's because we've brought them up on the podcast.
It's gotta be.
Because nobody else talks about Spacehog.
Nope.
Who's talking about Spacehog? We're talking about Spacehog. So yeah, I'll see you at that show. It's a Sunday night. We're going.
Well, I mean, like, we almost have to at this point.
Yeah, and it's Q101 sponsored, by the way. What year is it?
Cooler, so we'll probably get bumper stickers.
Yeah, Man Cow's going to be there. It's going to be a whole...
Is he really?
Probably. Who works at Q101? I don't know. The Whipping Boy or whatever. I can't name Q101 characters or whatever.
Oh.
But yeah, the 90s is coming back. So.
That's awesome.
Did you do anything for St. Pat's weekend?
No, just like I said, we had dinner, a nice, Joni, she did, something a little different with, like, the corned beef this year. I don't know why I did that with my hand. That's how I shake things up, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. She cooked it differently, and it was freaking amazing. But yeah, we don't really,
don't celebrate, don't do anything.
Yeah, we're kind of lame asses.
We went to the city because this is just how Megan does things. She's like, I'm not gonna go into it. We all know Megan.
Okay.
She's fantastic, but she doesn't know where anything is.
All right.
So she'll be like,
I was gonna add when you were kind of stumbling, but it's just like I don't know where he's going with this one, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Let's see how this turns out for him. Like any random day we'll be hanging out and she'll be like, here's what I'm thinking we're gonna do. We're gonna go today and we're gonna go to Rockford. And then we'll have a nice day at the casino in Rockford. And then I'm thinking for dinner we could just go like underneath Lake Michigan. And I'm like, do you know where
two opposite sides of Illinois?
Yeah, and one of them's doesn't exist. You can't eat under Lake Michigan. But she's like, yeah, I found a website that has you know what I mean? But she doesn't do it like we need to go here and we need to go here.
If people can go see the Titanic, I think you can get.
She just doesn't know what is in which direction. She's like learning maps. Yesterday she was like, yeah, I took 290 to exit 10A, and I was like, nobody talks like that. Yeah. What street are you getting off on? But that's what the GPS told her. Yeah, so we were supposed to go to like dinner in the city on St. Patrick's Day weekend in the weirdest part of this, in like a hard part to get to, like past Michigan Avenue East. Okay. You know what I mean? Like Magnificent Mile, so everybody's out there, plus it's St. Patrick's Day, plus it's in this weird spot. Then you have to park, and it's like $40 to $50 to park, even on Spot Hero over there.
Sounds terrible.
Yes, it was all horrible. Yeah. So instead, I was like, can we just... She wanted to see the river.
All right.
And I said, you know what, I want to see the river too. I've never seen it. They dye it green. It should be cool. I've never seen it in person. Let's go. And but instead of going to eat where we're gonna eat, let's just not. Let's just try and have a good time and not be all stressed and whatever.
All right.
So we went and we parked, and we were at like Rush Street and like Clark and I don't know, that whole area that is like 20 and 30-year-olds who are hammered. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to see somebody puking, but I think we were there too early. It was only like 3-4 in the afternoon.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. But the whole place was jam-packed with like crazy young kids who were all hammered. And we went and we were there for 10 minutes, and then we got back into the vehicle, and I paid $18 to park, and then we were out of there. And
seriously?
To me it was the best thing ever. Because she just wanted to see the river.
Okay.
And she was totally in, like, yeah, let's get out of here. So we took a picture in the river, and then we were like, this is insane.
Have you ever gone down there, like, in your heydays for, like, the parade or anything like
not
that?
Not for Irish parade. No,
Okay.
you?
Yeah, I mean, because there's so many
So
different
you know
ones,
how it is.
Yeah, I went to a couple of them, and I mean, it's just, it's insane. I mean, it looks like chaos, like
It's
war
madness.
torn. I mean, there's just people on the side of the roads throwing up, and it's rough.
It was cool. I was telling Megan, I was like, it's cool to see the sluts.
Yes.
I'm not talking about like women who dress nicely for the occasion or whatever.
You're talking about actual
I'm
easy
talking
women.
No,
Sluts.
shamrocks on the nipples.
Oh.
Like where you're
Pasties?
like, yeah, and you're like, okay, all right, you
Yeah,
need
right.
attention apparently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm looking for when I go to the city. And so we were trying to point them out as we saw them. But yeah, it was cool to see the river and take the picture. But it did remind me of like that era of my life that was like the 20s and just like being ridiculous. And now looking at all these kids who are like in their 20s and 30s, and I was like, I mean, good for you. I wasn't like mad at them or anything, but I was like, man, like I feel like it was such a waste of time, but also a good time. So it's kind of like mixed feelings when you see it.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't drink anymore, so it's like I'm not gonna be like enjoying the drinking aspect of St. Patrick's Day, which is St. Patrick's Day. So.
I mean,
But,
you're not very Irish, are you?
No, Megan is partially
Okay.
Irish, which is why I think that's why she wanted to go down there. I think she's. We have an Irish flag somewhere around here.
Yeah.
In this home, there's.
Your porch goose has a 4-leaf clover on it, right?
That's true. Yeah,
count
it's
that.
and a beard, like a red beard. So.
Sweet.
What do you think?
You know, can I ask you a quick question? Just because I was at a store the other day and I saw this, and it was like it's just a quick like this or that. What makes more sense to you? Because like I saw someone setting up a stand and they were talking with another employee. What looks better, 50% off or buy one get one? Because when you think about it, it really just depends if you want one or two.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
to me, 50% off is like.
It's always going to be the best one,
Yeah.
but that's I kind of made me think of it because it's like if you're at like a liquor store though, whenever you see buy one get one, and it's like obviously if you're at like a liquor store, it's like, well, I'm always going to buy an extra. But yeah, it was just funny because these two, like I could hear them kind of like, no, we should put no, and it's like they're the same thing. It's essentially the same thing.
Unless you're buying one.
Yes.
So if you're buying two, it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah,
Or-
you're paying the same price for however many units you're buying, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah,
I just
no,
thought it was
50%
interesting.
looks better. And by the way, even 50%, you're barely catching my eye at this point.
However, the word free though is always a good thing.
Free is nice.
You know, so
Yeah.
buy one get one free. Is
Do you ever
always
see
like, yeah.
like 20% off sales? Do you ever even look at 20% off sales?
Not really.
Everything is so like not to be Mr. Everything is expensive,
Yeah.
but it's just like the price of things is like way over
Well,
20%.
yeah.
I need a 70% off
Yeah.
for me to be like, let me take a look at it.
That's like go shop at Kohl's. Every sale they have just brings it to the price that it should be.
Yeah,
You know? So
You're
it's like
oh, this little thing, $69.99 regular price. You're
Yes.
like, no, this is an alarm clock. Like, this shouldn't be this much.
yes, and I do shop at Kohl's because I'm a dad, so
That makes sense.
yeah.
That
But
makes sense.
so we're saying 50% off is better?
Yeah, 50% off. Speaking of 50% off, I got Bloodwork done.
Uh-oh.
Half off.
That's a great segue.
It should have been half off. Do you get Bloodwork done at all, ever?
I mean, I have within the last couple of years. I'm not very good with getting my physical.
That's what I was going to ask you. You're an old man. You should be getting a
Yeah,
physical.
I should be.
Yeah. I got Bloodwork done, and I'm afraid of needles. I don't like to look at them. So anytime they
That's a horrible spot too when you get blood done right in your elbow, right, or like in the crook there.
like the here, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I always like go like this, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just can't look at it."
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like that's not outlandish of you to be turning your head. It's like, do they expect people to be dead-eyed, like looking at it?
I think they're more worried that I'm passing out.
Okay,
Than
I
like,
guess.
yeah, you know, like
Yeah, as opposed to just like averting your eyes.
yeah, or like
okay.
this guy is so worried that he has to look the other way, so they're like just trying to be nice.
Right.
But this time I said, I'm throwing it down. I'm looking directly at it. I want to know if I want to do heroin one day, can I do heroin? And so I turned, like she put the needle in, and then I turned and I looked at it, and then I could see the blood going up into the vial, and then she like popped it off and then put another vial on there, and then you could see it going up again.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, that's enough. I don't need it. And then
good.
I turned and I was like, all right, I didn't pass out. So what I'm saying is I think I could be like a medic. I think I could do it.
You could definitely do heroin.
Definitely do heroin. I started immediately. I left
good.
and I was like, let's do this.
Everything good though with Bloodwork, I hope.
Yeah, good blood. They were like, wow, this is
some good blood you have, my friend.
They were like, normal people have average. You above average.
Good.
So
that's it. That's how the doctors were talking to you.
Let's talk about what we've been putting inside ourselves,
please,
because they've been taking blood out of me. So instead of that, let's do what is going in us. I also let me throw this by you. What do you think of this segment? Changing it from what are we putting inside ourselves? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think about that?
Oh, like the name of the segment?
Yeah, or like we do the same thing.
Yeah, but
what kind of stuff? But we give an opinion.
Sounds less sexual.
Huh? No thumbs in the middle.
Oh, no, so you mean like we're keeping the segment the same, but at the end we have to either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Like if you're like, yeah, I watched Son-in-Law, you're obviously gonna be like thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
If you're like, oh, I watched the new Christopher Nolan, you're gonna be like, way too long of a thumb. Yeah. Like, cut it in half.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I just throwing it out there. I don't know. We don't have to do it that way. I'm just it was an idea that came to my mind this week, and I get one a week. Yeah, probably. So, what we've been putting inside ourselves, what thumbs we've been putting inside ourselves this week. I'm gonna start things off because I only have one thing, but it's like a little bit longer of a story, I guess, if you want to. But I saw Mark Norman.
Oh yeah,
I talked about him on the show. I saw him this weekend on Saturday at the Den Theater in Chicago. Holds about 300 people. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
He was hilarious. It was 99% new stuff. It's so cool. It's like a square room and then like a stage that's kind of like a half circle or a circle, which is a little bit different. You're used to like the rectangle where people stop. So he can kind of like walk in and there's seats that go around the circle part too. But it's also like very small. So just really nice room. Been there a couple times before. He was tremendous, and the only thing that so thumbs up, Mark Norman.
Nice.
Thumbs down, annoying people at comedy shows. You've been to comedy shows?
I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, I've been to actual comedy shows.
Any hecklers? Any loud people? Anything?
I think I mentioned it on here when I saw Dave Chappelle. Just everyone shouting, "I'm Rick James," like because it was for that time. But no, that I can recall, because I've been to Zanies, or not Zanies, the Improv. Yeah, in Schaumburg a few times. I saw, like, Jeff Dunham there before he was real big. David Alan Grier way after he was big.
Wow.
Way after he was big. He was actually, he made things really uncomfortable for me and your cousin and his girlfriend at the time and my wife at the time because we were in the front row. And he kept looking at us every time he made these weird Nickelback jokes. Like, because we're white. And it was so weird.
There
was a Pakistani couple right next to us, and I know this because he kept calling that guy out. It was weird. But no, as far as the heckling, we were getting heckled at the last one I went to. But no, I don't recall anything besides the Rick James stuff where at least the comedian was getting.
That is my least favorite part of comedy shows in general. You know, if you're gonna go see somebody in a stadium or whatever, it's almost like it's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
But when you see somebody in a smaller place, you're hoping that the people going just aren't assholes or whatever you want to call it. Like people who are just instead of laughing or whatever, or have to, that's right.
Yeah.
You're like, stop.
Thank you for
stop.
that. Yeah.
And you can see the opening comedian guy. We were dealing with one guy who just and you're like, stop. What are you doing? How do you live like this? No one has told you to shut up before. 300 people are turning around and looking at you. You can't figure it out.
Jeez.
That's Nipple Pasties guy. That's what he is.
Is that what he was wearing?
It was. They should have kicked him out. We saw him earlier at St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, it's just so annoying when people are like that. And then but the Den Theater had a big jacked black security guy who went over and he was like, "Hey, you be quiet, young man."
Yeah.
And then the guy was pretty quiet the rest of the time. But it's just like that, and people who have annoying laughs, or people who laugh louder because they think they're at a comedy show, so they think they're doing it justice.
Yeah.
And you're like, please, just stop. For the love of God. And maybe it's weird because I'm not a laugher. Like, I'm not like big laugh guy. I'm kind of more like, that was funny. So I understand people laughing, and I understand people who can't change their laugh. Like, that's one thing. But there are people who change their laugh for these shows. We've sat next to them many times. It's super annoying, and I had to talk about how much I do not like them.
Wow.
But Mark Norman and Tim Smith was his opener. Fantastic. Follow them on Instagram for funny stuff. One more thing, I guess. So front row seating at a comedy show. After your experience, are you like, I don't want to sit in the front row anymore?
I probably wouldn't. I mean, like, I don't know. It was a cool experience. And again, this was at the Improv, which isn't... What's the seating there? Do you have any idea?
I think it's like 400.
Okay.
But it's like a weird shaped
more
room.
stadium seating.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it just depends on the comedian. If it was someone It was weird to see David Allen Greer in the first place.
Yeah.
Or no. I'm sorry. You know what? It was Tommy Davidson. But still of that...
confusing your black people.
I'm sorry. It was Tommy Davidson.
Suburban Dad.
Yeah. Whichever one is in Ace Ventura 2. He's like the little guy that's in the backpack. I think it's Tommy Davidson.
Okay.
Might be a booty call. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think I wanted to sit in the front row even at that point. I think the tickets were just kind of like, hey, we got tickets, so...
That's what a lot of people don't want to sit in the front row because of an experience like that where they get called.
We were like dead center too.
Yeah,
just like
I've heard that there's clubs, maybe even Schaumburg Improv is one of them. Who, if you're like anywhere but we don't want to sit in the front row, then they're like, that's all we have, and they put you in the front row because they want you to be uncomfortable. That sucks. That's horrible. Because I don't want to sit in the front row of a thing.
No, it definitely not a fun experience because, again, you can see a lot of times, like, when the comedian is staring directly at you, and it's just like, he's not looking at anyone else. Like, I know he's staring at me, so.
All right, well, that's it for me. Mark Norman.
All right.
Awesome as always.
You always have cool shit. I just have, like... I have stuff like a recommendation. Little Debbie strawberry shortcake rolls. Have you ever had these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just like in my family at least. I mean, maybe they got pushed aside for a few years because we always get like the cosmic brownies and like the Swiss cake rolls.
Strawberry rolls might be my number one Little Debbie's.
They might be mine too, actually.
Earlier this week, Megan was like, "Why don't you guys do top 3 Little Debbie's?" And I'm like, "There's no way we're gonna do that. That's so stupid. Why would you say that?" What a lame thing, and here we are talking about our top 3 Little
Dude,
Debbie's.
I mean, like, yeah, I think you're right. That might be my number one. And I've realized too over the years, I don't really like the Nutter Butters or the Nutty Bar ones anymore. Like with the wafer.
So I'm on a different level than you when it comes to Little Debbie's, apparently.
Okay.
Because I have a ranking system for all Little Debbie's treats already.
All right.
My cousin Nick does as well. Like, we share information on new releases coming out. They have Little Debbie's ice cream. They have strawberry shortcake ice cream.
I think I've seen that before.
It's $2.97 at your Walmarts is where they started them, and now they've expanded to other stores. But $3 for a pint of ice cream. But with those, it's like vanilla ice cream, and then they just
jam it in there.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like, it's okay, some of them, or
it's
whatever.
not even like mixed into it. It's literally
just
like
smash.
A packed thing, and they smash it in.
No, but we definitely, like, if we see something and it's brand new Little Debbie's, we're like, take 1 box each, please. Like, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So like I said, I think we started getting these back into the mix, and the kids love them too. They're only 6 per box, kind of bullshit, so they go fast.
Yeah. You got to get 1 box per person.
Quick one.
Per day.
Quick old movie, Wedding Crashers. Haven't watched that in a while. You seen this?
You watched it?
I mean, like, not for the first time, but I just watched it this week.
Yeah, I've seen a good movie. I like Vince Vaughn. He's going to come up in our next episode.
You know what? Vince Vaughn, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, how I just got to the point with him where it was like, there was Dodgeball, and I loved it. And then there was, like, movies like this where he just fucking wouldn't shut up. And it's like, and then you got, from like Owen Wilson the entire movie, or Luke Wilson, whichever one it is. I just think, I was never a huge fan of this movie, and I do like a lot of these movies that these guys were in, you know, the Hangover movies and stuff like that, but this one's too long too. I don't like it when comedies are over 2 hours. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. Anything past 90 minutes is a problem in society.
It's weird, too, seeing Christopher Walken just play like a normal guy. Like,
Yeah.
he plays the dad, and there's nothing quirky about him or anything.
Also, like, the premise of just a movie about guys
Taking
who crash
advantage of people,
weddings.
essentially.
Yeah, it's like, are they good guys?
No, not really.
Yeah,
I mean, so it's like,
weird.
yeah, you're kind of like, these guys are, like, kind of morally repugnant, but it's like, whatever. I mean, like...
Yeah, you
know.
get past that, and it is, I mean, like, to me, I think it's a funny movie. It's great. Whatever, but I get what you're saying 100%.
Yeah.
And like Vince Vaughn has a thing where it's like the more you see him, you're like, all right, let's bring it.
You know what though? He's done.
I like him. I just
When he does serious roles, I'm starting to, I think, like him more in that. And he doesn't act as much anymore, but he was in Hacksaw Ridge, which was an army movie that Mel Gibson directed.
Okay.
Surprisingly, not many. But he was really good in that.
No, go on.
Yeah, go on. But anyway, yeah. So just Wedding Crashers.
Well, he was also in that the one with Woody Harrelson and Woody Harrelson's friend who's like Woody Harrelson.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, they were in like that detective show.
Oh, True Detective. He was in a different season. Though.
Yeah, then he was in the second season, I think.
Which I didn't really like. That
and I watched and I was like, no. That's why
the first
I
season
gave up
was
on him.
great. That season with him and Rachel McAdams and Colin Farrell, I think, it was just a mess, and it was just three assholes that hated each other on screen, and it's like, I don't like this at all. I watched every other season of True Detective except that one.
I stopped at that season because I was like, no, apparently I just wanted to watch the Woody Harrelson.
Well, the Woody
one,
Harrelson one is by far the best one, but
and I think that probably gave me like I don't want to see Vince Vaughn in serious stuff because of that. I was like, I saw him be serious and I hated it.
Yeah,
and so
he was.
I don't give him a try.
Awful
I do like him in The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, that one was like, because there was some like really like hard digs in that movie, but it was supposed to be a comedy. But yeah, there was a lot of like, damn,
and like a Chicago connection.
Yeah.
And so it was just like a little bit. I don't want to say deeper than a regular comedy, but kind of. There's a breakup.
Well, Vince Vaughn, I feel like he brings that with him, because even in Wedding Crashers, there's a part where he brings up Wrigley Field.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like you can't get past it. And then the last thing, quickly, I just wanted to talk about Daredevil, which is on Netflix now. It's like a reboot. I'm not going to talk super about it, just about the most recent episode, because it was like a whole courtroom drama type thing. I know you like comedy, courtroom stuff. Obviously, you love Night Court. Do you like procedural type things, like actual, like, I don't watch those shows like Law and Order and stuff like that, but I can, like, for instance, the movie Runaway Jury with John Cusack. I don't know if you've ever seen that. No. Awesome movie. That's just, it's about like a gun case, you know, like someone's trying to sue a gun company. But I don't know, man. I love a good like procedural.
Really?
Just like how intense it could get. Cause
so you just mean like in a court. Like a court.
Yeah,
theme.
Except for the new Joker movie. Everything in that movie sucks.
Okay.
But like, yeah, so the character of Daredevil, you know, he fights crimes. He's a vigilante. He's a blind guy, and that's how he gets away with it. But he's a blind lawyer, and he's really good at what he does. So in this episode, I mean, it's like the action's pretty much cut away, and it's just a really good episode. And I don't know. I was just kind of thinking.
No, I'm trying to think of like other stuff because I obviously haven't seen that, and not really. Okay. Like when you said I like comedies that are in courtrooms or whatever, I was like what? And then Jury Duty,
Night
the
Court.
TV show, Night Court. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess so. But really, that I would think that's it, unless you have a fourth one immediately.
No,
but I like those. I mean, like the writing more than the court part
exactly.
of it.
It's like you're not watching it because it's in the courtroom. It's just, it's a funny comedy.
Law and Order is not something that I would watch, but like I've seen like those Chicago shows. Mm-hmm. The police one is kind of like interesting, but that's not procedural, obviously. But like, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Cool. All right. Well, that's all I got then.
All right, so let's do our top 3 cereal.
I like how you started smiling as you were like, cereal.
Well, because I just remembered what we're doing today.
All right, well, I think this list can be kind of quicker. Plus, I feel like we've done our cereals.
This is my note.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Let's start with the killers because we're gonna.
Oh, you want to do that one?
I do because I wanted. It's gonna go dark.
Yeah.
And,
so let's bring it back up then.
Yeah. So if you don't want your children listening to this, you know, because it's a little bit darker, whatever. You're a coward. Let them listen. This is a free country. Top 3 serial killers. Now I took this. We're not doing favorite and least favorite.
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to do like interesting or like ones that caught my eye for a specific reason.
So I used to listen to a lot of true crime podcasts and stuff.
Okay.
So I was just thinking of the ones that stuck out from that.
Okay.
And I think, I legit got 3. I mean, I didn't really go much further than that. I do also have some fictional characters that I wanted to talk about that I am a fan of.
Yeah, I'll tell you off the bat, I have no potent notables.
Okay. Well, my potent notables, I guess, would be the fictional ones.
The fiction ones?
Yeah.
I'll start off with number 3. This is actually probably going to be the longest one.
Okay.
And I'm only picking it as number 3 because it was the first one I found, and I was like, "You're number 3."
All right.
I had to do like research for this. Like, I couldn't name serial killers.
Okay.
I mean, I knew Zodiac Killer because one of my friends, Big Dumb Idiot, like loves the Zodiac Killer, or however you cheer on a serial. I don't know.
Yeah,
he liked the book or something. Whatever it was. I don't know.
Okay.
You know Zach.
Mm-hmm.
He's a weirdo. I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
But I know, like, I've heard that name before. I've heard like John Wayne Gacy and
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Dahmer's and that kind of stuff. But it's like, all right, let me do some research and see what sticks out.
Yeah.
So here's one that stuck out. Constance Fisher. This is someone who was born in like the 30s, let's say, around there. This is a woman serial killer, which I think is kind of a rarity.
It
It's
is.
usually more guys.
Yeah.
This lady, so her husband comes home one day and she's locked like in her bedroom or whatever, and he's like, "Let me in," and nothing, no noise, but the door is locked. So he calls like the doctor because she's been depressed, and the doctor comes over and they break the door down. This lady's got 2 dead kids in a bed and one that has drowned.
Jesus.
And they don't know where she is yet, and they're looking for her, and they eventually find her under the bed, but passed out. So she tried to kill herself by drinking a bottle of shampoo, which is a weird way to try and kill yourself.
Yeah, that's a...
You're like, I want to be clean.
Bleach or something. I mean, make it fast.
But this was the 50s. Their brains were smaller. You know how it is. So she killed 3 of her kids, and she left a note saying basically that God told her to kill them. Because... I don't know. How do you talk about this?
I don't know.
So basically, she said that she was trying to like help the kids or whatever. She was a paranoid schizophrenic, which is like she was being treated for it or whatever it was. But yeah, so that's pretty crazy. And yeah, they found her unconscious. They sent her to a hospital, right? So she goes to this hospital. Husband's still with her after all this stuff. Good husband or bad husband? What do you think?
How is she in the bed? She's a great
motionless
cook.
After shampoo.
Yeah, jeez.
So 7 years later, 7 years go by. The husband's trying to get her out of jail and all this. Like during this.
The kids all died, correct?
Kids are all dead. 3 dead kids.
Okay.
The lady's in the mental institute or the hospital or prison or whatever it is. He's petitioning, trying to get her out. They're not letting her out. After 5 years or whatever, they let her out because they found out she was paranoid schizophrenic. They tried whatever she tried, and she seemed to be getting better. It's still a weird thing to let her out, if you ask me, but they let her out, and her and the husband had 3 more kids.
Perfect.
7 years later, husband comes home, same exact, pretty much exact crime. 2 kids dead in the bed, 1 drowned. Lady is unconscious. She was unconscious because she tried pills this time, like a bottle of pills. Kids all die. That's now 6 dead kids. Lady survives again.
Yeah.
So they send her to jail again, a hospital, mental hospital, all that kind of stuff. A couple years go by. Lady escapes from the mental hospital or hospital, whatever hospital it is.
Oh no.
And they find her in the river. She accidentally drowned.
Okay, good.
So that might be karma of some sort or whatever it is, but some people who were in the river found this lady floating. She had got out of the hospital, and I guess the only way to go was like over some river, and they believe they found her the day that she had drowned.
Okay.
And they think that she drowned on accident. Like the husband had, in this period of time, stopped talking to her, and she got like even crazier because of it, because he had always been there for her, and now he was like this time is too much.
Fuck this. All right.
And so, so that's my number 3.
Okay.
Constance Fisher.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to top that one. I'll see what I can do, though. So, my number 3, Joseph James D'Angelo, known as the GSK, the Golden State Killer. So, this guy...
interesting story here that includes Patton Oswalt?
No, I hope not.
I think so.
Maybe, but not part of my story.
All right, I'll tell a story after, and it may or may not include...
Okay. Yeah, I didn't do as much research as you did on these. Again, I'm just kind of trying to go off what I remember, and I remember one thing about this guy that was just very, just kind of fucked up is, he'd break into a house, he'd set up different escape routes, and when the man got home or whatever, or when the guy woke up, he would have him, like, in the corner with silverware and plates and shit, like, on his back, so basically if that guy moved, he could hear it.
Oh, okay.
So, like, smart, but just, like... And I don't know, I remember listening to this case file and I hated it because, like, the guy kept repeating himself, like, telling about... And then he went to the house and he did this and he would keep telling the same story over and over again about what he did. But, yeah, just, like, I think... So it says here he was active for, like, about 12 years.
Recent, though.
No, this is, like, in the 70s and 80s. So, yeah, I guess kind of.
Okay.
But, yeah, this went on for, like I said, 12 years. They finally got the guy who was convicted for 13 murders, 51 assaults.
Whatever.
Let's say on
Do you
women.
know when he was convicted? Was it in the 80s or was it?
Well, it was in the 80s, like at least when his crime spree. Well, that says when the crime spree ended at least. So I'm not sure when he was convicted, but they do actually have pictures of him. But yeah, I'll always remember that story just because of like the plates on the back. It was just like a.
Yeah, that's a pretty...
But he'd like be in the house too, like hanging out, like eating food and stuff, like while the family was basically just like terrorized.
Wow.
And then he maybe kill him, maybe not, but like a lot of like sexual assault. So it was like pretty.
So he just like kept them in a tunnel or something. Like...
No, I mean like this would be like at your house, and then he would just leave. So like kind of terrorize the family for a few hours and then take off. You know? Yeah.
Are you looking for me to say that that's what you do?
No. Just you said in a tunnel. It was like, no, he does it in the comforts of your own home at least.
So he goes to somebody's house. He like does stuff and murders people, and then he's like, I'm out of here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm letting you in anymore. I was purposely not making that joke about you because it looked like you were trying to set me up for that joke.
Oh, no.
And I was going to be like, I'm not giving you what you want, pal. And then it would have been funny, but
hey man, we're talking about serial killers.
Yeah, this is a serious topic. So here's the Golden State part of it.
Okay.
I feel like the Golden State Killer, Patton Oswalt's ex-wife, ex because she passed, not ex because they broke up, but I think maybe it's not the same person.
Meredith Salinger?
Well, he's married to somebody now.
That's her. That's who I think it is. Okay.
I don't know who that is.
That's who I think I'm thinking of.
So the person that he was married to before this was an author who I believe her writing, like she spent years researching. I thought it was the Golden State Killer.
Maybe it is.
And after years and years and years, she found out who the person actually was.
Oh, shit.
And because of her book and her writing or whatever, the police led her to the Golden State Killer. Once again, I'm calling him the Golden State Killer. Maybe it's a completely different thing, but I feel like it's the Golden State Killer. It led to this person who then they were able to finally prosecute like 10 years ago or whatever it was. And then she got cancer and died. And so like that was her thing right before she had passed. Like she got that. And so Patton Oswalt was like, yeah, my wife found this person.
Wow. No, I didn't. I should have done more research, actually, like just to see. Because there's a picture of this guy. I mean, like, I don't know how current it is, but.
Yeah. So, I don't know if that's the same guy, but I really, like, when you said Golden State Killer, maybe there's like 6 of them. I don't know.
You were thinking of, like, a basketball player.
Yeah, Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
It's just a killer crossover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see what I did there? Anyway, my number 2 is going to be Rodney Alexander. I'm going to call him Rodney Alexander, but I don't think that's his name because my chicken scratch handwriting here, I can't read it. Maybe it's Rodney Alcalar?
Okay.
I don't know. This guy was responsible for at least 7 murders between 1977 and 79. and he got life in prison for those murders specifically, those 2 years of murders. They think eventually he murdered like 130 people total. But in those 2 years, from 77 to 79, the stuff that got him locked up, it's kind of funny because in 1978 he was on The Dating Game on TV. So he is known as the Dating Game Killer.
Okay.
Because he was killing people, and then he was like, you know what? I need to find some love on television. That's what I need to do.
Damn right.
And
that's
then,
how you do it.
And then he killed some more people, and then they put him in jail.
Okay.
So that's my number 2. Not as detailed as the first one. They don't need to be. I'll tell you this. My number 1, even less detailed than that.
Right. All right. Well, my number 2, you already talked about. It's Zodiac.
Oh, okay.
This one, I mean, again, it's weird being like, well, it's really cool how.
Yeah.
But like
I mistook you for my friend BDI, Big Dumb Idiot.
Yeah.
It's actually you who's like, he's my number 1.
Well, I actually, 2 hours later. Most of the stuff I have with this one is just from watching the movie, and I did see it kind of recently, and I like fact-checked a lot of that stuff, but like the coded messages and the symbols and all that shit, it was like, just for someone to be that, like, to basically make your own, like, alphabet that has to be, like, decoded. And then it was really interesting just the fact that I think this man who Arthur Lee Allen, he died before he could be convicted, so that's why this case is technically still open. Okay. So that's why it's kind of interesting, too. And I believe this guy was only, like, well, he would have been convicted for 7, but they said, the number was probably, like, way higher than that. Like,
this has to be, like, one of the most popular ones, right?
Yeah.
Serial killer.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, no, you mean like serial killer podcasts, what we're doing now?
No.
It's got to be one of the most popular ones.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do they do they think it is him, or like they know it's him, or they think it's him?
There's no way to know for sure.
Okay.
It was basically to the point
like,
where
DNA.
they're just like, we're gonna bring, like, yeah, we're ready to bring this guy in, and we're gonna start a trial and everything, and then it's like he died.
Okay.
It's like, fuck.
All right. My number 1, the Chicago Strangler. Now, let me tell you why. This is from 2001 to 2018. There's been a series of stranglings of mostly African-American prostitutes. I don't know that they know who the Chicago Strangler is, and I'm only picking them because I have loyalty to the state that I live in.
There you go.
That's it. Number 1, Chicago Strangler.
Right. My number 1's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay.
This one, I remember this, like I was in 5th grade. I remember because we took a class trip to Milwaukee. Wow. And it's like, this was right around when this was happening. So that everyone's just like, oh, we're going to see Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's funny.
And yeah, just like a really, like a truly disgusting story. Like a cannibal, all this stuff. And the fact that he did all this shit in an apartment building. Yeah. Like he didn't have like his own place to store these things.
Did you watch the show with Niecy Nash,
which was
the neighbor?
And it's tough to say that it's like, it was really good, but you're just like, the subject matter is hard to watch. And like and I knew about this before watching that miniseries, but his victim that like got away, and then basically the police just fed him right back to him. He's like, no, you go with him, and it's just.
I didn't watch that whole series, and I don't know like the whole story, but Megan was watching it, and I would come in and out and be like what's going on now? Like kind of interested, but I didn't want to put that much time and effort into it.
Yeah, it was a pretty. It was a hard watch, but an easy one too, because it was just really good and it was interesting. And Evan Peters did a fantastic job, and he was just so like Kip from Napoleon Dynamite, just really like gross and just the vibes and everything. So, but yeah, I think that one more the familiarity of me actually like kind of like, oh god, I remember that happening.
I'm gonna murder his joke here, but Mark Norman had a joke about Jeffrey Dahmer this weekend, which was something like. This was like the 80s or 90s or whenever. 90s when he was convicted. Mm-hmm. And so like times were a little bit different there, and the dad didn't know that what his son was doing or whatever. So imagine the police come to your house and they're like, your son is gay and he kills people and he eats them, and the dad's like, he's gay? Yeah. Solid joke. Yeah. He told it clearly way better than me, but yeah.
No, still though.
Yeah, great joke.
All right, so then my potent notables. You said
Okay.
you got none.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Real quick, I thought of this one just because you said the Chicago Strangler. I got to go with the Scranton Strangler
Oh,
for
okay.
one.
The Office, all right.
John Doe, who is from Seven. You ever seen Seven?
No.
It's Kevin Spacey, who's a wonderful human. That's why I picked him. But no, he's an awesome villain in that. Dexter from the show Dexter. And then Mickey and Mallory Knox from Natural Born Killers.
Now, what is it that Kevin Spacey did? Because you're always like, he's innocent. They should set.
I
this
believe
man
tax
free.
fraud.
Okay, all right.
Nothing more, nothing less.
All right, well then let's move on to the even more depressing topic of top
Cereal.
3 cereals. This one, my number 3, Jeffrey Dahmer's. No. Jeffrey Dahmer's.
Yeah.
Anyway, so top 3 cereals. We're not doing bottom 3. I wanted to ask you though, you mix cereals ever?
Never.
What, you have to have them separated? You refuse to mix them?
I don't refuse to, but I never do.
Never tried it.
No.
Not that creative.
I just, you know what? I don't want to fuck it up.
Okay.
Cereal is scarce.
My number 3, I'm going with chocolate Cheerios. I know it's boring, but it's good for your heart, and it's chocolate. And chocolate is big for me. I'm a big chocolate
It's a
person.
loophole.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the doctor says I need more heart-healthy cereal. Okay. How about now,
Yeah.
jerk? Just kidding. I love my doctors. They're good people.
Right.
Chocolate Cheerios.
My number 3 is Honey Bunches of Oats. And I love
Doesn't cut your mouth?
No.
Okay.
You think of a Captain Crunch?
No. The O's have given
like
me an O face. You know what I mean? Like,
No, not Honey O's. There's like Honey Bunches of Oats, like OATS.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know what that is.
It's just another one of those kind of like grain, like clustery cereals. It's got like
cluster.
It's like a healthier one, but it's got a honey kick to it. And
I thought you meant the ones that are O's. No. And they're like sharp, very sharp.
No.
They
Do
shouldn't
you
be allowed.
remember? Oh God, Raisin Nut Bran.
I love Raisin Nut.
You do really? That's
do.
still a thing.
Yeah, where the raisin is coated in like a, I don't even know what it is, but it's the only way I'll eat raisins.
Jesus.
And then it's got the almonds that puncture your mouth.
No, I think you're no. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Not Raisin Nut Bran. There's another one that's like almost like it has the consistency of like gravel.
No, I don't think Raisin Nut Bran is a quality cereal.
Okay, never mind. It's not that one then. What's your number 2?
Number 2, Reese's Puffs.
Oh,
you put the chocolate, you put the peanut butter, you put them together, you get some chocolate peanut butter milk afterwards. You don't go wrong there.
Yeah, good one. My number 2 is Honey Nut Cheerios. Another one that's kind of, I guess, deemed healthy, but I don't know.
See, here's what I don't like about. I love them. I will eat them all day, but they remind me of like babies. Because I worked in a restaurant, and there's just Honey O's all over the floor. Now, keep in mind, if they were chocolate, maybe I would hate the chocolate ones. Yeah. But you could tell that they were either plain or honey nut or whatever. And it's just like, that's such an annoying thing.
Just a trigger, just thinking of young children.
Yeah, I hate young children.
Gotcha.
No, kids are the future or whatever. Number 1, chocolate Rice Krispies. Now, I'm going chocolate, and I'm going Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
This cereal provides the best milk situation.
All right.
You put in regular milk, you put in chocolate, you get chocolate milk afterwards, and it is absolutely delicious. And this is one of those, I put some bananas in there.
Okay.
Get some fruit, nice potassium intake.
Yeah.
So you can do a lot. It's a great base, or you can just have it, by itself, or get creative, is what I like to say.
Okay. All right. Well, my number 1 is similar.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I accept.
Okay, but you know what though? I don't mix cereals. It's funny you said that, but this one had to be a slash, Fruity or Cocoa Pebbles. Just the two of those are interchangeable as my number 1. Now
I'm
what
mad
I
at you.
thought about yours though,
Yeah.
you said chocolate Rice Krispies. What about Cocoa Krispies?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get to.
Okay.
That's why I don't agree with your number 1.
Okay.
If you pick Fruity Pebbles, okay, because it's like a different thing.
Yeah.
But if you pick Cocoa Krispies,
So you're saying for
it's
that
not as good
Yeah.
as a chocolate Rice Krispie.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
But there's also Cocoa Puffs that literally advertise on the box turns into chocolate milk.
Cocoa Puffs to the side, my friend.
Okay.
But I will say, Cocoa Krispies is on my potent notables because if you don't have chocolate Rice Krispies, it's a nice substitute.
All right.
It's the Pepsi of rice popped cereal.
Nice.
Megan made some like desserts or whatever this weekend for like St. Patrick's Day stuff. So downstairs we have what I normally eat, which is shredded wheat. But I've been getting it like strawberry coated because I'm 9.
That's awesome though.
Yeah,
that's good.
So I mix that with some Lucky Charms that she has, and then on top of that, Fruity Pebbles, which she has,
right.
and then I have a triple. And
Damn.
dude, you'll never have anything like it, and it's great. So anyway, Cocoa Krispies, I love it. It's a great cereal.
Okay.
I just don't like it as much as the milk that comes out of the Rice Krispies situation.
All right.
And then the other one that I kind of like, but it has to be a mixed one, is Cookie Crisp.
Okay.
And it's just like what I ate when I was a kid or whatever, but I need to throw in some Rice Krispies with it to have, a chocolate. I'm a chocolate person. I'm addicted to it. Mm-hmm. And, yeah.
Yeah, my notables, I got Golden Grams, Tricks, and Lucky Charms as well.
Yeah. What do you think about the gray, the little gray Lucky Charms that's not a marshmallow? You know, if you take all the marshmallows out, you have 90% just plain.
Oh, well, you know what? That's basically what Alphabets cereal is. Because there's the Alphabets without the... You remember Alphabets, by the way?
But without
you could get it. It's still like a glazed... But no. The marshmallows. And it's funny, too, because I don't like marshmallows unless they're the little fake ones that are in cereal.
Same.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I don't know. I guess those... I think it's fine.
All right. Well, then let's move on.
You know what's funny, though, is that our talk about cereal was somehow darker and more depressing than our talk about serial killers. It's like
super depressing episode.
Yeah.
And I'd like to take this moment to introduce a new segment to the show.
All right.
It's called The Apology of the Week. This apology this week goes to our friend Shug. Because last week I was doing a Hawaiian dance, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. Oh, because we were talking about Tia Carrere, and I said she does this type of music now.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, our friend Shug will know what that is. But it took a little while, but I realized American Samoa is not Hawaii. In fact, they're pretty far away. So you said it, but I didn't correct you. So I believe we're both, unless you're standing strong with your case.
When did I say they were the same, though?
Nothing. I did this, right? This is a Hawaiian dance. Yeah. This isn't an American Samoa dance.
Well, hold on, though. Shug correctly answered it, though, right?
He did, but then I responded.
See?
But then I had to respond, I just realized that American Samoa is not Hawaii, and I believe he liked it.
That's okay.
So either way, Shug, whether it's for what we said last week or 2 weeks ago, or potentially right now, apology of the week goes to you, buddy.
I still don't understand why this man deserves an apology. I'm calling him smart, being like, I bet Shug will know what it means, but with no relation at all to American Samoa.
But you were not saying because of his intelligence level he'll know.
Saying it
you
now.
Were saying this, and you go, oh, that dance reminds me of Shug.
Yes,
it shouldn't,
because he's the smartest man I know, and I figured he'd know what that dance is.
Let's pick our next top 3.
Let's do it.
Next week, I'll apologize for apologizing to Shug.
This is our top 3 bottom serial killers.
Yeah. Least favorite cereals of all time. Oh, God. Look at this.
I love the Namor picture.
Yeah.
Namor the Handsome, correct?
Namor the Handsome.
All right, here we go. Let's see. We're going to do... Leave it there.
Did we do this?
I don't think we have. We've done the counterpart, though. We'll do top 3 SNL actors. We have definitely done actresses. Or do you think we've talked too much about SNL lately? So we did talk about Farley last week.
Let's not do it.
Okay.
Let's. I mean, put it back in, but there's a reason why.
Okay.
Because next week I have something planned, and we're gonna talk about SNL a lot next week anyway.
Oh, cool. All right. So besides that, we're going to talk about... Oh, this is a fun one. Top TV best friends. So I guess this would kind of be like a wingman or something. Like maybe not the main character of the show, but main character's best friend.
So just the one character or the two of them together?
I guess you could maybe say
like the
pair.
friendship of this person and this person.
Yeah. But actually, I don't know. I would more be thinking of like Buddy from like Charles in Charge.
Okay.
You know, something like that. I guess you could still say Charles and Buddy. But
let's
yeah,
do
you're
that.
More so focused, or like Kimmy Gibbler.
What does it say? What is it?
Top TV best friends.
Yeah, let's do two together.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Two together.
Two together, like we always do.
Always.
When the camera turns off.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for checking out the show, and next week will be even darker.
Later.
Thank you.